Welcome to the podcast. This is Brothers by Law. I'm your host, Jeffrey Stiff.
I'm Thomas Bowman, and today we talk about farming.
And how Farming Simulator made us farmers.
Well, let's find out.
That's fine. It's okay. I don't know. I like seeing what people are saying. and
It's
stuff.
nice. I think we're just having issues being able to see what people are saying right now. So if you guys are talking to us, we're sorry.
Yeah.
We can't see what you're saying, so tough luck.
I see no evil, and all those comments are evil.
Yeah, y'all just rude.
All right. So I guess for the audience that are going to be listening on the stream, we're going to be talking about video games.
And how they affect your mental health,
Yeah.
or just health in general, let's say.
Yeah.
So
Do you want me to begin with this one?
let's use.
Because I kind of threw it out there.
I've done many research projects based off of video games and how it affects the health, because there's always like everyone always has that negative view. It's video games just make you a violent person, and everyone's so like gung-ho on that topic. So I always go for the opposite view because I know it's not. Like, I mean, I play video games a whole hell of a lot, and I haven't killed anybody,
Yet.
so I definitely have searched for like the more positive aspect of playing video games. So I'll let you go ahead and start with this.
Okay.
And there's our other special guest.
Yep. My daughter's here. She's just craving my attention. I just got back from my trip last night, so yeah, I was like, I don't know. I at first I thought I was gonna be landing at like midnight or something.
Yeah.
But then it was like 8, and I was like, okay, that's not too bad.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Yeah. Hi. Hi. You want to say hi to everybody? Say gully. My daughter's just gonna sit there all shy like it. Anyways, so I mean, the reason why I'll start with the reason why this topic came up. I mean,
All right.
obviously with like all the candidates in the election and everything, it keeps getting brought up with like all our leaders about like whether or not video games create violence, right?
Mhm.
So I will start by saying that I kind of lean towards it's possible
Mhm.
for certain individuals, but I mean that's like with anything, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, you give certain individuals a knife, and maybe they might be prone to a little extra, stabbing, just because that's just how their brain's wired.
Yeah.
But I don't exactly know how you differentiate. So, like, I mean, like, I don't know. Like, video games is so easily accessible.
Mhm.
So maybe, like, the topic shouldn't be whether or not they cause violence, but how do we learn from certain individuals who might be susceptible to that kind of, that's like,
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying, because that's sort of my opinion. Like, I don't think in like an everyday case, video games will cause violence. No.
Yeah, no.
No, not at all. But if somebody has maybe some mental health issues, or maybe just something sort of wrong with them, like maybe they're super depressed, or just something that's not normal, like for the average person, then yes, there is potential. But people saying that video games are linked to violence is just like them saying music causes violence. Like,
That was a topic
Back-
once.
yeah, back when like the Columbine, they blame Marilyn Manson because the kids listen to Marilyn Manson.
Yeah.
And
Evil music.
yeah, it's devil music, and it causes violence. Music causes violence, and that's just
Headbanging.
they're gonna
Sore
throw.
necks.
There's gonna be something to throw at. They just need something to throw blame on, because they don't want to take the blame. The actual blame is maybe these kids were having issues before they started playing video games, but
I wonder if their train of thought is the same as like horror films. Where if you watch a horror film, you'll probably get nightmares if that kind of stuff bothers you.
yeah,
I mean, there's a lot of stuff just based on what we see, how it influences us. And here's where I was kind of intrigued, right? So the government wants to kind of get involved and ban violent video games or whatever, right?
mm-hmm.
Which I think is kind of dumb. But
Oh, there's gonna be a lot of issues. People try to ban video games.
is it possible that as time progresses and we get through this uncanny valley to where we can't tell the difference between video games and real life, would that change our perspective or our actions of in real life? I mean, we're
I don't
not
know.
quite
It's
there, but
hard to.
we're like starting to reach there. And you and I mean, yeah, we were raised around games, but I wouldn't say. I mean, it's not like the games they have now. I mean, VR is starting to kick off.
Yeah, I think like with how we like games have always been a big part of my life, but I've never been like last week. Okay, yeah, I was sick, so I spent basically all day just playing a video game because I couldn't really do anything else. So
Yeah.
that was just like, okay, whatever, yeah, cool. But I've never been one to be like seriously like addicted to video games. Like I could quit playing a video game. Like if I need to go do something, okay, yeah, I'm not gonna like just not do it
Right.
because I'm playing a video game. And like that's just sort of how like our generation, I'll say, is with video games. Like yeah, we like them, but we know there are more important things than playing video games, and we're gonna do what we need to do. There are some exceptions with that, but like today, now with this whole streaming stuff and people being like money off streaming, like yeah, 16-year-old, 14, 13-year-old kids playing Fortnite making millions. That's as much as I hate to actually admit it, it is going to be an issue. Like,
Yeah.
you see it a lot more. I think nowadays as a sort of like, I don't know, it's becoming a norm.
Like to play video games like 24/7 kind of thing.
Yeah, because they think, oh yeah, I'm going to get rich off this because this kid did it.
Well, that's what I was like
And
kind of thinking was like eventually when like video games become so realistic, because I mean it's slowly getting that way and it seems like it's speeding up more and more.
mhm.
Like at what point do people actually start having a hard time differentiating between the two? I mean, it
Well,
sounds
I think
weird like by today's standards, but I don't know. That's something I thought about. So when I thought about that, I was like, well, is it really a bad idea for the government to get involved if that is a possibility? And as much as I like to say it's preposterous to say video games causes violence, but to also think that it might influence us to not exactly know the difference anymore.
I think now my saying that video games don't cause violence, that it's on a sort of by person sort of scenario, like people with sort of mental health issues. I think that is more for our generation. Me saying that is meant for more for our generation. These newer generations, though, I think is going to be different.
Oh yeah.
So let's say by generation, because I don't agree that I don't want to necessarily say video games cause violence for the newer generation, but video games are causing some issues for the newer generation. As in, basically, lack of, like what you're saying, being able to, like, lack of basically getting their lives right,
Mhm.
They're just saying, okay, well, I just play games all day and I'll make money that way. That's not,
And we've seen
that ain't
like
gonna
these
happen.
kind of effects with social media.
Oh, social media is
'Cause, like,
destroying everything.
It seems like people have a hard time having a proper communication skills with other people just because I mean the way you talk on the internet versus face to face is very different.
Oh, it's completely different. And people are losing that concept of talking with other people. And it's like nowadays everyone's so scared to have their kids around other kids, It's becoming such a big issue. Like parents are being so protective
Mhm.
nowadays compared to what it was in the past on just every aspect of children's life. Like recess is an issue. You can't play, monkey bars. You can't play on this or that.
I love the monkey
You can't do
bars.
dodgeball. You can't do this or that. Like, you know, you go out. I used to go out play by myself for hours on hours on hours. As long as I was home before dark, it was okay.
Mhm.
Nowadays, it's like you got to have somebody watching you, or someone's gonna call CPS on your kids or on you and your kids. Because everybody's so just in everyone's business, and kids aren't allowed to be kids anymore. And that's pushing them to be more onto social media because like, oh, well, I can't go outside have fun, so stuck inside,
Yeah.
and I'm on this social media stuff, and social media is just ruining
Is inside safe?
their whole concept of communicating with other people on a normal basis. Like, and that communication in younger ages, like actually having contact with other children and stuff is very important.
Yeah.
That's a very important skill needed to grow properly.
It's one of the big reasons why we decided it'd probably best to put her into daycare.
Yeah.
Just because, like, I mean, she can interact with us, but it's important for her to interact with, you know, other kids her age and learn with them.
Yeah.
Because, like, I could sit there and, like, tell her, like, hey, say this, say that, you know, trying to get her to learn how to speak, but she's not going to learn as fast as if she was to, like, just go and be with her peers and hear them try to learn stuff.
Yeah.
Although, so that whole concept of the possible future for gaming is kind of what made me want to talk about this. But then also I thought of, because I was talking to a buddy of mine about like VR stuff, and it reminded me of back in elementary school where video games were being used as a teaching tool.
Yeah.
And it still kind of is, but it's definitely evolved a lot more. I mean, one of the things I was using is a simulator of how the real thing is, and they try to put you through these scenarios and see if you can try and problem solve and fix them. I mean, when we say video games, we think of, you know, just fun, but really simulations are kind of a type of video game too.
Yeah. Well,
I thought, like, that's actually a very good pro to video games.
I think actually video games would be great for learning
Mm-hmm.
in that type of setting. Because, I mean, I know if I had video games that taught me when I was a kid, I'd be a lot smarter, I think. Because, you know, that's one of those things, like, and video games have been proven to, you know, help hand-eye coordination. They've been proven to help with, like, decision making.
Almost the hand-eye coordination I'm always kind of skeptical about.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I guess, like, fingers, sure, but I mean, you're not moving your hands
yeah.
so much.
Yeah.
But I think with VR, probably more so.
Once we start getting to that VR, yeah, it's going to be that VR. When we get to the point, like, on, what's that, Ready Player One?
Yeah.
You read that book and seen that movie?
I've seen the movie, yeah, I didn't read the book.
Oh, the book's way better.
I've heard.
But once we get, I think, I hope we do, and I hope we don't get to a point where that book movie takes us to where, like, everything is VR. Like, you just sit in a little thing and go into the VR world and do whatever you want type deal. Go to school, do all that stuff. I think that'd be great, but at the same time, I think that's going to ruin the world.
They would have to find a way to maintain your physical body.
Yeah.
Because I, like, one of the big perks to working out is it does help, you know, blood flow and help your brain, like, develop.
Yeah.
And I don't feel that, I mean, if people are getting so involved in video games, there's a big part of you that you're missing.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people are very addicted to video games and they straight up will not work out. I'm like, you will benefit significantly if you take care of your body.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, like, video games has a really bad addiction property, but that'd be kind of cool if they can solve that.
Like, easy. Put you on a treadmill.
Put you on a treadmill? You're on a treadmill on VR?
Yeah.
Why does that sound dangerous?
No, then you're walking. Like, so you're walking, you know? So you're walking on the treadmill, you're walking your character.
See, but that's the thing, like, I feel like I don't know, like, running on a treadmill is very different than running outside.
Oh, yeah, I mean, it is very different. It's a lot more dangerous.
Oh, running outside or on a treadmill?
Oh, the treadmill.
Oh, yeah.
Treadmill's way dangerous. Like,
you poop out or cramp up for a second.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, tiniest little thing, and it's like, you can slip hard. Like, I do mine every morning, you know, I'm on the treadmill for a bit, and I'm, like, watching anime. I'm watching One Piece right now.
Okay. Wait, still?
It's like 900 episodes,
I know, but, like, I thought like a year and a half ago you were like...
I quit.
Oh.
I started rewatching it, then I quit. I got to like 5. I got to like right before the big old battle. The battle that changed the generation. Can't remember what it's called, but...
I don't know.
I just got into the world. They're in the new world right now, so, you know, cool stuff.
Anyways.
And like, yeah, so I'm like zoned in, watching it, running on the treadmill. Yeah, like there's many times where it's like, all right, you know, like as I'm running, it's like trying to have to like adjust myself a few times because like you're on the treadmill, you know, it's easier just to hold on funny ways where you're a little more relaxed. but at the same time, you start slipping a little bit, and it's dangerous, man. Treadmills are dangerous.
It's only dangerous if you're not really paying attention at this point.
Oh yeah, but I'm not paying attention. I'm still running, you know. I'm just not paying attention to how I'm running, which could or could not be beneficial. I mean, I imagine it's still beneficial, but not as beneficial.
I always wonder if like movies will take a dive towards like video games,
I don't know.
like an interactive movie.
Didn't
Which I mean, video games are basically that, but
didn't
just imagine like you're in your seat, right? And instead of watching on a screen, you have a VR headset and you're looking around.
It's like a
360
choose your own
in a
adventure.
movie.
choose your own adventure. What way does
Kind
the
of,
hero
but more
go?
like the movie's telling you a story, but you're the first person in there, right?
Mhm.
And you're experiencing it through the main character's face or eyes, right? And
Yeah,
I
that'd
could
be
see that being
cool.
kind of scary.
I think oh, that Netflix show I tried to get you to watch so we could do like
Oh,
episodes.
Mirror?
Yeah, Black Mirror. I think they
I
did
watched
a
like 4
a
episodes.
movie where it was a little interactive. If I'm not mistaken, I haven't watched it and I
have
don't
a
remember.
hard time getting into that show. I know everybody keeps talking about it, but I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, like I know there's a lot of good stuff with like video games.
Hmm.
It is still very new, and it seems to be growing so fast it's hard for people to keep up. And I
There's a
think
lot
the
of games
government
coming out that I
is
want.
asking the right questions. Yeah,
But they're going to take the wrong approach.
which
That's just what they're going to do. They're going to take the wrong approach.
well, they're
'cause-
they're like your parents, you know. I'm not saying your parents may take the wrong approach, but they always gotta go way above what it needs to be just to hammer a
Yeah.
point towards you.
Well, I mean, it was like China. What they did was basically like put limits on when you can game. Like they set time limits,
Yeah.
which
That might not
that
be
would be
bad
yes
but,
and
like,
no. It just depends.
in the land of the free,
Yeah, I know. Yeah, if you put some time limits on when people can game here, oh, that'd be a big issue. There'd be a lot of upset people.
Hey Vanessa, can you take the little lady? She's crabby.
Why are you crabby?
She probably has a full diaper.
Oh, I know she does.
Bye, Ava. Bye.
But yeah, I don't know. The government getting involved, it's scary.
Yeah,
I mean,
it
this
always is
all-
because you never know when they're gonna push it more and more. But if you think like alcohol laws, it hasn't
Yeah.
changed in a hot minute.
people do need to be responsible.
Honestly,
and know
I
their
d-
own limits.
yeah, no, I get you. But like that's actually something I've been kind of wondering about is like when should the government get involved with certain things?
It is tough. Honestly, never.
I mean,
like, in the perfect situation, the government should only be there to just.
I mean,
Basically.
like I said, they are
I don't
asking the
know.
right questions, right? It seems like violence is on the rise.
People do overestimate
And-
their limit. That's true.
And like it seems to be around younger kids or
Mhm.
younger people, right? I don't want to say kids because even like young adults could be in that category.
Yeah.
And I mean, they're obviously seeing the things that these people are very involved with, which is video games and social media.
Yeah.
But I think there's a more bigger underlying issue there.
I think it's so hard to really think about this because when we were, said our generation growing up with video gaming and stuff, there was not this big issue with social media, and it wasn't like this thing that took over all our time.
Yeah, no.
But now it is. Like this day and age, like it's a new concept. Like even just like me having this completely pro gaming sort of idea, actually thinking about it, it's so complicated because like I want to be completely pro gaming and like gaming's not bad.
right.
But you see the habits that people have been picking up lately, and it's like
And I
It's
know a lot of
hard
people like,
to-
well, I'm not a killer. I'm like, well, we're not talking about you. We're talking about the ones that are killers, like
Yeah.
what provoked them to that point, which
And
I
then,
think is
like-
probably a lot more bullying than
and
anything.
now
but-
yeah, bowling. That's definitely like social media bullying and like online gaming. Bowling is horrible in
I just
online
thought
gaming.
of like
Like,
Xbox Live
yeah,
back
Xbox
in the day.
Live back in the day. Like But
That was so
nowadays, you have
bad.
someone saying that to you nowadays, the
Just
kid's
mute
gonna
'em.
go nuts.
Well, that too. But I just
But-
mute him. Like, I don't want to listen to this guy.
Yeah, you just mute it, but people don't want to mute it.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it is about thinking like we grew up and it was a great thing and it was fun and it was just so innovating. And now it's like, okay, now the government wants to get involved. Now they want to sort of put limits on things. Like, well, another issue is the parents. You know, you think
Yeah.
about it. A lot of these games coming out are rated. They have ratings. They have these
But
ratings.
they're always
that-
ignored.
Yeah, it's ignored. The parents don't pay attention. They just buy their kid whatever because they want their kid to shut up and just go in their room and leave
Shut
them
up
alone.
and color.
Yeah. Basically. So now you got these parents just buying their kids whatever they want, not thinking of what they're actually buying their children, you know?
Right.
It's like you got these 10-year-old kids playing Grand Theft Auto. Like, Grand Theft Auto is not meant for 10-year-old kids.
Oh yeah, no.
So
Sometimes I wonder if I should be playing. I'm like, oh, okay.
I try to, you know, it was fun is to go
I
out
mean,
there and try to be a responsible person on Grand Theft Auto. Oh, that's fun. That's
Try to-
hard to do.
Try to follow the speed
follow
limit.
follow the speed limit, hit the stoplights, you know, don't run over people or crash your car.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's a hard thing to figure out because I don't there's different age groups and different people out there,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean I'd be for like a county or something doing their own experiments.
Yeah.
Maybe the government shouldn't get like maybe not like the president or anything should get involved, but maybe it should be like a state by state basis. That'd be kind of cool.
I just figure out what state I'm going to move to then.
Right, but that's you got 50 different options, so there you go. But that's what's
Oh.
kind of cool about
Well, I
the
think you need
United
to
States
start
having different
with
states. Like you can
is
pick
being-
and choose.
What really needs to happen is parents need to start being more responsible and paying attention to what their children are doing. And that's like the biggest issue with everything going on right now. Like honestly, you think about social media, this and that. It's parents aren't paying attention
I
to
will
what their
say-
kids are doing.
In this day and age, technology is very addicting.
Mm-hmm. It is.
And as a new parent, it was really hard for me to adapt and be less selfish. You know, like I never thought myself as a selfish person, but when you have to take care of a little one and you just want to take care of your needs,
Yeah.
you know, like oh,
It's like,
I used to
always
have
wanna
all this
play
free time.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's really hard to pull myself away sometimes, and I could see where different things can be really complex, like especially with video games and their microtransactions and stuff. They are built
Oh,
to
man.
keep pulling you in, like especially mobile games.
Yeah, like there's this one called Monster Legends that's just a drag for your wallet. It's just horrible, and these people play it like it's a horrible,
Why do I
addictive
feel like
game.
you've been like throwing money at this thing?
And these people play it like crazy. Like there's like weeks where they'll just spend the whole week playing this game nonstop. Like it's ridiculous. Like my chat doesn't shut up because these people keep playing this dumb race on this game. Yeah, I'm talking to you guys. It's like where I met all my friends.
I
All
noticed
my
you kept looking
friends.
at the chat. You're like talking about. I was like, okay.
There's yeah, it's a fun game, but yeah, it's one of those. They definitely those mobile games will suck you in. It's like, oh well, give us some money.
I think that's really one of the big things. Is I would like to see the government step in and try to make them or force companies to make them less predatory.
Yeah,
Because they do okay, so I don't like buying new games so much just because $60 is a lot of money.
it is. It is, and, then
And
you
normally I
just
wait
don't
for the
know-
Steam sales, but like with the Nintendo Switches, that's the only like it's either PC or the Switch. And the Switch, like you almost have to always pay full price unless you shop on Amazon.
Yeah,
And typically you can get a little bit, but still like so like I typically just wait for the prices to drop, and by the time the prices drop, like the hype is gone. I'm like, it's all good.
it's like I did a little thing with that. I love the pre-order. Like I hate pre-ordering games because like there's been so many that have like just been horrible.
Yeah.
Like, No Man's Sky.
Yeah.
There was such hype for that game, and then it was like the worst game in the world. Everyone was pissed because they bought it. And like, there's a few games where like I really want it, but it's like I'm not gonna buy it yet. And I buy them later, and like, oh, this game sucks. It wasn't even worth the $20 I spent on it.
Yeah. So like it's
There are very
weird.
few games I will actually pre-order, and then it's just like, yeah, all the stupid transactions. Everyone has transactions. They want, oh, well, here, like new costumes, DLC, extra
Yeah.
stuff. Like, what happened to the good old days where the DLC was already in the game? You had
I
to
miss
actually
that.
play the game to unlock it. Like
Or you have to
that's
go and buy the CD.
yeah. It was like that's how it used to be. That's what used to be so great about games. Is that like
It was all there.
yeah, it was all there, but like with Smash Bros, you had to unlock it. You had to actually do all, and they still do that. Nintendo still does that, but they
Well-
also have some more.
Yeah. Well, they're getting worse now.
Yeah, it is.
So that's what I was
starting to get
gonna
worse.
say is like I don't typically buy these AAA games just because they're so expensive, but when I do, it surprises me on how much stuff has been cut, or you have to pay, or you have to like go through like I wouldn't call them slot machines, but I mean they are essentially like these slot machine like mechanisms.
Oh yeah, but they've been having such. They've been a lot of stuff about that too, about the loot boxes and all
Yeah.
that in game, thinking that's basically gambling and it should be illegal.
Right.
And I think some country, maybe I think maybe the UK banned it. I don't.
There's
they
a
were
few that are
talk of
working
it.
on it. Yeah. But that's the thing. Like maybe it's.
Yeah,
I don't think video games are necessarily making you violent, but it does have a big effect on your mental health. And I mean, certain
Yeah.
people are probably gonna be more prone to it than
No,
others.
definitely.
But addiction, like
But
I
they
don't
are
know.
definitely getting addictive. It is like, and it's just getting bad for your wallets. Like we were just talking about the money. You know, it's
Yeah.
like you start playing a game, like then you got like online games, like MMORPGs. You're getting those. You got a monthly fee. You got to buy the game. Then you got a monthly fee. Then it's like, oh well, there's all this cool stuff. I can throw some more money in for that. Or ooh, hey, look at that fancy skin that I don't have.
Well, they
or
figured out that if they make it free to play, right, they get you in there.
you'll spend more money.
Yeah, and then they'll entice you with a little bit of free stuff here and there, right, just to get you used to having it. Then they'll take it from you and like, all right, now if you really want it,
Yeah, start dishing out that
you
money.
gotta get out some money, and that. But you've been using it for a while now. You're like, I really like that. I really want that now. They're smart. It's
Yep. And they're starting to do the like passes. Which I know we're gonna get into this a little
Oh,
more. We're
yeah.
gonna get this more later on a different episode, but they're getting into those passes where it's like well, why don't you just give us basically you buy the $60 game and then give us another $60 and
Mm.
all the DLC will come out with will be yours. And
Yeah.
there's no guarantee how good that DLC is gonna be. There's no guarantee how good the game's gonna be. It's just
That's kind of why I like there's certain things where I'm like, well, maybe the government get involved wouldn't be a bad idea because we seem
Yeah.
to be very bad at self-managing that.
if they make a way to where like to say they can't basically be just digging in our wallets all the time because they always want to do is make us spend, cut out the microtransactions, cut out the loot boxes.
Yeah.
Like
So
make it,
I'm,
yeah, I don't know. It's,
so like with the whole conversation about video games causing violence,
mm,
I'm hoping the solution to that question would be more beneficial than detrimental. Like I don't want them to like, oh, you can't have violent video games, right?
yeah,
I mean, it wouldn't be a bad idea to put more restrictions, like, you know, like how they're talking about more restrictions to obtain a gun,
yeah.
which wouldn't be a bad thing. I mean, banning guns
Well,
itself
like-
would be bad, but more restrictions, like, hey, you need to go through more of this before you can get this kind of gun.
And like, what would
It's
you
like,
do
oh,
for
okay.
gaming though? Because like I said, it's basically the parents just go in, and you can't tell. Like,
Well, yeah, that's
and then just get it for their kids. Like, what? Do you gotta like make the parent play the game for a little bit to prove that they actually know what they're doing?
well, that's the thing. Like, well, so one of the interesting things is that everything's going digital now.
Mhm.
Right. So maybe they should make it to where you cannot save your credit card or debit card to your account.
That'd be smart.
So if you wanted to buy a game, you had to get that card, which a parent should keep that on them at all times.
Yeah, it shouldn't be left out for someone to
Right.
grab.
So it becomes more of, oh, you want to buy, anytime you want to buy something, you have to pull that card out to
Mhm.
make the purchase.
And I think like in the option, like when it coming up to where you normally just like, oh, here's Call of Duty, $60, buy. It should be like, oh, thing. Okay, this is what this game includes.
Yeah, maybe like a
Two.
fingerprint scanner too to ensure. So if the kid does steal it, you still need a fingerprint verification.
Maybe just some smaller things to help out. Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know. It's just gonna be tough, but like
But you can there are ways you can probably regulate. I don't think they're being smart about it. I think they're just being kind of, oh, we want it easy. We want it easy for everybody to get.
They want the money. Yep.
But like, I mean,
Of course, if you're buying your kid Call of Duty,
you have no taste.
Yeah. You
You know,
deserve your kid to
it's
be
funny,
a
though,
horrible
'cause
person.
Call of Duty 2 and 3. I mean, but like, is very different than the today Call of Duty.
Oh yeah. Well, now it's all multiplayer. Basically.
Yeah, but they still got single player.
Yeah, but they've cut those campaigns down horribly.
Oh, I haven't played the new ones.
Yeah, they've basically cut the single player and just. I mean, it's still there, but it's garbage. It ain't nothing. It's all about multiplayer now. 'Cause
Look
that's
at
where
this.
they make
Video
their
games
money.
are making you just angry.
Yeah, I'm so angry now. You know, there is a. Oh, it's hilarious. There's a Julian Smith show or episode on YouTube where it's about the violence in video games. I'll show it to you later. I can't remember what it's called. I think it might just be Violent Games or something, but it's Julian Smith and it's hilarious. The dude's playing Mario Kart and it's a funny one. Just try to find that if you guys want to watch it. It's hilarious. You'll love it. I'll show that
Does
to
he
you
still
later.
make videos?
don't
I know
think
he left
has
for a
been.
bit.
Well, he had family. He's like family and all that now.
Yeah, he took like a year off.
Yeah, I don't know if he's been making too much.
Mm.
I haven't actually looked.
It's all good. Yeah, no, like I said, I was thinking about this just because like I know video games are very addictive, and I was talking to a buddy of mine about how there's a lot of good to it too. And like we were talking about like education, but I mean there's also like there's a couple games that they made, or like I said, were simulators. I mean I'm gonna put them in the same category where like people would use these simulators to help like develop ways to like cure like different cancers and stuff, you know, just people dinking around, just seeing what happens, and the simulation comes up with a solution or something like, hey,
Well,
I figured a solution. This is awesome.
those are pretty bad too, though, because like whoever's running the Plague Inc. in the government is really messed up over China.
Yeah.
They said that coronavirus is getting pretty bad. I see. Yeah, there was a meme I saw that was hilarious.
I guess it could teach the wrong person to do wrong things.
But no, I think those simulators are great. Like, it'd be great for like training.
Mhm.
Doesn't one of the branches of military use sort of like a gaming simulator to train?
We have, it's like early 2000, like
I know it was like forever ago. It was an older thing, but it was used. And I thought that was a cool
we
concept.
still have a lot of this stuff. The military, you know, it's funny because the military used to be like ahead of the time,
Mhm.
but they're so lacking right now. I mean, there's there's a lot of top secret stuff that
They're
I don't
still
know
using
about it,
XP.
but the general, no, they finally upgraded to Windows 10.
Oh, okay.
I will say when I joined, I'm almost positive it was XP. It wasn't 10, that's for sure. They were very. I mean, I joined in 11, so I mean, obviously, you know, 10. I mean, I think 10 was still in beta at that time, but Windows 10 was like they took a while.
Yeah.
But they're still using a lot of programs that are expired. They don't update anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm just sitting there thinking, like, you do know this is very prone to like security risks now, right? But
Yeah. But no, I mean, I definitely think simulators could be great for like on-job training type deal with
That's-
certain things, like you're saying with like medical stuff.
yeah,
I mean, it's not, and especially if we get into that VR. You just think about it. If you're like a doctor trying to learn surgeries and stuff, you get this VR game where you're basically doing it
mm-hmm.
on like it's the visual patient. You get the sort of idea. I mean, it's still not going to be like the real thing,
Right.
but it's going to be close enough to where you can get a basic understanding and learn pretty well.
Yeah, and they started using VR to help understand the universe better because now you can actually see it very differently.
And that would be great for like you can set up like classrooms for
Mhm.
like a VR classroom or for certain things or whatever. Everyone gets a little VR headsets and y'all sort of explore like history and stuff. Like it'd be very great for learning.
Mhm. Oh, that'd be really cool. Like pull you back in time. Like this
Yeah.
is what it looked like. You're like, oh.
Yeah, you just like walk around like,
Wow.
oh wow, this is
At that point, is it even called a video game anymore?
It's sort of
I mean, like
adaptation
it's
of real
funny because
life.
like by today's standards, we would call it like a video game.
Yeah.
But like in the future, it'd probably just be like video something else.
it's gonna be like this
Video-
is your
video
virtual
education.
textbook
Yeah. Oh, that'd be weird.
Yeah. or virtual learning experience.
Yeah. But right now, it's a video game.
Yeah. But I mean, there's so much potential to make that better for learning, but we just got to figure out how we can prevent it from becoming that big of an issue, and the government's gonna
Right.
try and shut it down, because there is definitely addiction being involved, and
Mental health, which I mean that's kind of what we were going with, but like I mean just people
oh, your buddy's ready for the podcast.
who
Mikey P.
was it Milky P, right?
It's Mike. I'm sorry, dude. Like when I was on the stream, like I had the like chat up on a very small screen, and I thought it said the Milky P, but it's really the Mikey P. I'm sorry, though. I think you should switch it to the Milky P, because that's hilarious.
Every time you kept saying that, I was like trying to figure it out, and I'm like, oh wait, I know.
Like if you don't take it, I'll probably change my gamer tag to something like that, 'cause that's great.
The dirty milk.
Milky cause, I don't know. But yeah, where were we?
I think we were kind of
Okay.
summarizing.
Yeah, we're just summarizing, because like we need to figure out how we can basically fix the addiction sort of that's coming up with social media and video games before it gets to a problem where we won't see a beneficial future for the education, like video game
Yeah,
wise.
well, like-
Because if the government, if it starts getting too bad,
They're
I
gonna
mean,
have to.
they're gonna have to. The government's gonna have to do something drastic, and it's gonna basically. Yeah, the
He
audio
stops to a chat.
yeah. Sorry, I'm watching the audio too. Yeah, the Twitch is being very laggy today for whatever reason. But yeah, the government's eventually have to do something drastic, and it's either going to destroy the video game scene completely, or definitely put it at a halt.
It's gonna be another video game crash.
It's
Video
gonna
game
be
crash
like-
of 2020.
The freaking what's that called? Where they took away all the alcohol. Where basically it was banned. Prohibition.
Oh,
But it's gonna be for video games, you know?
yeah.
It's gonna be like illegal to play video games, or like certain video games, and that's gonna cause so much issue.
Video games illegal. Weed is not.
Yeah.
That'd be
I
a
think
weird
that's the-
future. It's funny because like
Weed needs to be like mandatory, then everyone's gonna be too high to hurt each other. They were like,
that's the solution. Video games and weed.
yeah. Dude, that's like the perfect
That's,
future.
that's what the video games are missing. I, as a United States Air Force member, am not condoning other people to smoke weed. Yeah, because I technically can't.
Yeah.
Not
No,
technically. I
that was a
can't,
joke, you guys. Completely just a hilarious joke that
I just
I
realized
made.
that I was like, man, I can see other people like, man, Stiff, he smokes weed. That's
You're
what he
gonna have
does,
to do a
that
drug
video
test when you
games.
go to work tomorrow.
Probably. It's already came up once, but luckily I was away, so I was like, man, I'm in Michigan right now. I can't do that. Oh,
You
okay.
could, but
Yeah, we need you to fly back ASAP.
yeah.
I don't know. I'm sure the next if nothing happens within the next 10 years, nothing probably will ever happen.
Yeah.
I know it's been like a talk for a while,
There's been a lot of debate.
but I
I
feel
just-
like if they're going to take action, it's going to have to be like soon,
There's just
or
so
it's
much.
just going to be too late.
What I'm hoping is that there's just so much other stuff going on.
Yeah, there's so many other factors.
There's so many other factors, so much other stuff just going on right now in the world. So many other bigger issues that everyone's trying to deal with. Like the video game scene has just sort of been like swept under the rug. It's still talked about, but it's not as big right now. At least from what I've been seeing, all the news is elsewhere.
Yeah,
Gun control and
it comes and goes.
this and that. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it'll pop up here and there, but it's not been such like in the recent like we've had like the loot boxes were big, then it just sort of disappeared out of nowhere, gone. Like there's still a little bit of talk about it, but it's pretty much disappeared.
Which sucks.
Yeah, because that needs to go away.
That's the
loot
one thing
boxes
I
need
would like to go away. I hate it. I mean, like, I guess there's a lot of gray areas with that too, and that's probably why a lot of action hasn't been taken. And I think that's the same thing with like gun control and stuff. Like, there's when or trying to make a legal action towards stuff, it's just hard to figure out how do you deal with the gray areas. Like, you know what you want,
Mhm.
right? You want X to be the end result,
Yeah,
and you kind of think this might be the solution, but then there's that gray area that's like, well, I think it's okay, and then other people are like, well, no.
And then no one can agree on
Yeah.
those gray areas. It's like everyone agrees that guns being used wrongly is bad,
Yeah.
but they can't agree on everything else, and everyone just fights.
Why
And that's
can't
how it always is.
why can't we go back to the time when we can agree to burn the witch?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We need to go back to olden ways where we barter. You grow your own crops and stuff. Grow your own food. You barter with your neighbor. You trade.
They walk on your
Money's
property,
gone.
you shoot them, it's all good.
Yeah. Someone tries to steal your stuff, get rid of them. The leader's the strongest of the area.
Yeah. Maybe that's kind of the issue with today's society is that it's just very complex now.
It's too
Like
complex.
versus back then, it was just kind of your land is your land, and Avo, really?
No, she's taking control now.
She's like, I want my violent video games.
Yeah. Get her start playing some Grand Theft Auto tonight. Right?
Yeah.
You want to play some Grand Theft Auto?
No, you can play Madden. That way you don't have any brain injuries.
Yeah.
You can play the video game, but you can't
But-
play football.
That's what I'm gonna
Real
say. Like, though,
football.
violent video games causing violence. Like, I've played violent video games my whole life. For me, it's like a stress relief.
Yeah,
Like,
and it's
getting on
funny.
there just like, shooting up stuff. Like, yeah, I'm not gonna do that in real life. No, I have a common sense and a working brain.
And I think it's funny to watch like things mess up and like the physics just act wonky.
Yeah. But it's like, all right, like I was playing Farmer Simulator 19 today. Like, I'm not about to go buy a tractor and go be a farmer.
No, you
I
never
mean, it would
feel
be
like
cool
that?
though. It would be cool. I think it would be fun. I would love to actually, but
There it goes.
dang it,
Dad.
farming video games causes farming.
Farming increases.
Farming video games causes crops growth.
Yeah, Daddy, I know. Daddy's back. Daddy's back. I'm
What?
sorry. My daughter's like extra clingy right now.
You're only gone for a week.
I know, but she didn't know. She's like, "Where'd Daddy go?" Like I said, like they're asking the right questions.
They don't know how to handle it, and they're probably
Yeah,
gonna take the
and
wrong
I think
route.
everybody's afraid that they're gonna take too much of a drastic resolution, and that's a good concern to have.
It's gonna go. I think. Yeah.
It's
That's,
like if
like,
you
the
forget to
biggest
mow the
concern.
lawn, your parents like take everything from you, and you're just like, but I forgot to mow the lawn once.
You know, I think is funny is the videos. I know like 90% of them are fake and staged, but like the video of like the parents or the grandparents are getting mad and taking the system and smashing it. Like there was the one of the dad
that's very
running over
violent.
the 360 and all the games with a lawnmower.
That's what it is. Violent video games don't cause the kids to be violent; they cause the parents to be violent.
Because their kids are just stuck there playing video games all day.
Parents can't stand it.
I know like 90% of those videos are fake though.
What are you doing? That's my throat.
Like there was one I watched and like it was like the grandpa getting mad, taking the kid's PlayStation, smashing it up, smashing a table, blah blah blah. They're like, "Oh, call the cops!" And whatever. At the end, like the credits, there had credits at the end. It was like, okay, yeah, that's totally staged. You're gonna throw credits at the end of your video.
Hey, everybody's gonna get credit in that scene, okay? That way they don't get sued later.
And then you find out they have like 10 other videos of the same thing.
Yeah, they've had it. There's been a few YouTubers like that.
And that always causes like such big debates when you see it on Facebook. Everyone's like, "Oh, blah blah blah." All the different sides arguing. It's like, did you guys realize that it's fake?
It's fake?
It's all fake.
All of it?
Fake news. Which is another topic you brought up that we should discuss. Which is fake news. Everything's so fake anymore.
Yeah. Alright. Well then. Shall we conclude?
Yeah, everyone's gotta get ready for the Super Bowl. So
Yeah. Yeah, y'all.
I'm not, but you guys can.
I'm actually surprised there are actually people on the stream. I figured everybody would be watching the Super Bowl.
It ain't started yet.
Oh.
There was like all their cooking.
Well, yeah, no,
done,
that's
get
they're
to
gonna
where
be
they're going.
cooking. They're gonna be getting their snacks, their beer.
Yep.
So they're watching our live stream. Hey, what's up?
Yeah, you guys are awesome.
Yeah.
So to conclude, what are video games creating violent children?
Ava, are you
No.
violent? Probably. You were just grabbing my throat earlier. She's just like, Like, what on earth are you doing?
We are priority. Yes, we are priority number one.
Yeah, daddy. Mwah. Well, guys, let us know what you think.
Yeah.
How is video games affecting your mental health?
Are you getting a little more violenter every day?
I do feel distant from reality if I play too long. You know when you like get back or you're done, right? And you walk away for a second, everything just kind of feels a little weird. Almost like you've been on a roller coaster, you know, after a while your body just feels kind of weird when you get off or an elevator.
I've never felt that.
No, like prolonged periods of one motion or rollerblading. Like I'll be rollerblading, right? And I get done and I still feel that motion of my feet moving to its sides, you know? I kind of get that feeling like after prolonged computer use because I'm a PC gamer. But yeah, like it feels weird.
Yeah. No, I've never really had that with video gaming. Like, I've never had that sort of like. I've had like when Guitar Hero first came out, like, and it was starting to get big. Like, I played it like crazy,
He's sitting there drumming everywhere.
and then like I woke up, like I had a dream, and I woke up and I was like, oh, I was Guitar Heroing it up.
Huh.
So, but yeah, no, I've never had that weird sort of stage after getting done. Like, oh, what's going on?
Well, not like you're lost or anything. You just like your head almost feels fuzzy, you know. Versus like, you know, if you're just out doing stuff, and I don't know, I think it has a lot to do with my eyes.
Yeah.
Like focusing on something at the same spot for so long, I think my eyes need to stretch and move back and forth on focusing stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I understand. I haven't had that experience. With,
Maybe
like,
I shouldn't play violent video games.
maybe.
I might just come over and just start shooting everybody.
Yeah, you never know.
But yeah, guys, let us know what you guys think. Yeah, stop it.
Yes, let us know what you think. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button.
Yeah, what the hell?
We need more subscribers.
Yeah, more 70%. I think 80% and not subscribed.
Y'all need to subscribe. That way you're up to date with what we do. Gosh,
I'm so
losers.
distracted right now. All right, guys.
Gotta buy some
We'll
more
catch you
merch.
next
Buy it.
podcast.
Buy it.
Potentially. Hey guys, if you have an idea and you want to get started, Buzzsprout is the place for you. Buzzsprout.com. For as low as $12 a month, you can get 3 hours worth of recording for your podcast. Check them out down the link below.
Thanks for listening to the Brothers by Law podcast. If you enjoyed what you've heard, go ahead and follow us on YouTube. You can go ahead and search YouTube for the Brothers by Law Productions. Make sure to hit that follow button while you're there. You can check us out on Twitter at Brothers by Law. We have 2 Facebooks, one for our podcast at Brothers by Law Pod, and one for our productions at Brothers by Law Productions. You can also follow us on Twitch, just search Brothers by Law. And for the podcast itself, we have it on multiple platforms, Spotify, Apple, Google, Stitcher. I mean, just go to your preferred podcast platform and search the Brothers by Law podcast. And if you're enjoying and you want to help us out, go to patreon.com/bblpod and go ahead and pick one of our 3 great tiers to help us with. There's a $1 tier, a $5 tier, and a $10 tier. So go ahead and check us out. Thank you for watching.